Yeah, obviously a really good result today. I thought, first off, special teams, defense, the way they set the tone for this game, and then it kind of led to us having really good field position all day. And I feel like we did a really good job of executing. Obviously, we'd like to come away with, a few more touchdowns or a couple more touchdowns. I thought we, obviously settled for some field goals there. But overall, guys, I feel like, that was a whole team game. Just the way, like I said, we got, stayed on top of the field position all day. And just really proud of our guys, proud of our offensive line, running backs, everyone for setting the tone. And Tori Horton, man, coming to work today. It was awesome to see him, get that punt return, and get a touchdown and doing his thing in the pass game.
The way you have started on offense each of the last two games and scoring, what does that reinforce to the game planning and all the preparation all week?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, just the preparation, like you said, that we put in throughout the week. That's that's how you want to start the game. You go through your openers and you go through certain things that you want to do against their defense. And, sometimes, especially early in the season, you're not necessarily sure exactly what you're going to get from their defense. And, I feel like our guys did a really good job of executing, no matter what the circumstances were, even if it was a different look than what we practiced. I thought, just execution was at a high level today.
As you mentioned, defense and special teams set you guys up with great field position several times, but to go 4 for 4 on your first 4 possessions in the red zone, what does that mean for where the offense is at right now that you guys are finishing at that type of a rate?
Yeah, it's huge. Obviously, we got bailed out a little bit on that first drive with the penalty. We'd like to convert that third down, but just got to continue to, be really good in practice. I think that's where it starts is practice, executing, and talking about it. If certain things, don't necessarily work in practice or, we need better timing, continue to work on that and even throw certain routes after practice if we need to. But that's where it starts. It starts with the work that we put in throughout the week. And, if that continues to translate to on-field success, we're going to be all right this year.
It sounds like Jaxon was kind of sick for a little while, the last day or so, but didn't look like it today at all.
No, he didn't. Yeah.
That second play of the game where you scrambled and then evaded pressure and then got it to him. Just take us through that play when you kind of saw it.
Yeah, it was big time. He's just such a good football player. So whenever I get in those scramble modes and he's able to kind of detach from his guy and make a play, I know that he's always going to be there, along with all of our other guys. But Jax especially, he's really good at, just playing ball at that point and getting open.
You make quite a few plays, Sam, where you throw accurately while you're moving to your left, which I imagine is not easy. What's the key to throwing accurately when you've got to do it across your body like that?
I think just doing it a lot, getting reps at it in the off season, understanding kind of momentum, understanding like how fast I'm going, and just being able to, turn my shoulders because I can be running as fast as I need to be to my left. As long as my shoulders are turned and I understand that, going to my left, that ball is going to pull a little left as I'm throwing left. Just understanding those details. But I think at the end of the day, it just comes down to getting those reps in the off season, even now.
You mentioned Tori already, but just to see a rookie do what he's done the last couple games, 2 touchdown catches, the punt returns, what stands out most about what you've seen from him?
Yeah, I think just, how steady he is, even, having a good game in Pittsburgh, catching that first touchdown, he was still, eager and hungry, this whole last week, wanting more and just, asking a ton of great questions like I've talked about a ton with Tori, but he's just continuing to grow. And, I know that he's going to continue to, get better and want to get better. And I think that's the biggest key as a young player is just having that want to get better and understand the offense even that much more.
Sam, he started getting going in training camp pretty early despite missing the off-season stuff, being held out and such. Why do you think he was able to find a footing so quickly and get going and kind of show this side of him as quickly as he did?
Yeah, I mean, first off, he's talented. He's a really talented football player. He does all the little things that you can't really teach really well. He tracks the ball well. He's got great speed, good hands. He's got length. So I think at the end of the day, his work ethic is what's going to set him apart, in my opinion, and that starts with the entire room. I feel like that whole receiver room does a really good job of continuing to work and ask questions and do all the right, the little things to continue to get better.
We heard a lot of the talk in the offseason, but how much have you guys all emphasized being better at home, starting fast at home and winning home games?
Yeah, I think, that's it's obviously a key to win at home. But at the end of the day, like, our goal is to just go out there and execute. And, the winning is going to take care of itself as long as we go out there and play it one play at a time. And that's kind of our mindset.
When K9 cut that run back, were you thinking about throwing a block there? You looked like you were gonna.
Yeah, that was a tough look for sure. I'm not sure exactly how it looked, but I know I was kind of looking for a block, and I was like, I don't think I should block, but so I'm going to kind of bail out of here, and then somehow still ended up on my ass, But yeah, it was fun to kind of get out there, and K9's so just the way that he cuts, I kind of knew or had a feeling that it was going to come back to me, and got to have a better plan next time, I guess.
Is this something that you have to make a real business decision on, especially when you're considering the state of the game that you guys are at?
No, I don't know. It was just, at the end of the day, I think I would love to go help my teammate in K9 and go get a block for him. But at the same time, there were other guys on that side of the field, and there were a lot of big guys out there too, a lot of D linemen. And I don't know if I would have won that battle had I chose to go out there and get a block for him.
Sam, what progress have you seen from this offensive line in this 3 weeks? What have you seen as a unit?
Yeah, they're continuing to talk. They're continuing to get to know one another, get to know the calls, get to know how deep their pass setting on certain plays, the run game communication on that. Like, I feel like they're just continuing to get to know each other a ton that way, and you can tell there's still a lot of room to grow, not only in that area but also as a whole. All the skill players, me, I feel like the last couple throws that I had weren't necessarily as accurate as I would have hoped for, but so we're just going to continue to learn, get better, and grow as an offense.
You've turned around to Thursday at Arizona. How do you approach, especially at this stage of your career, how do you approach planning for a game on only a couple days rest differently than you would say if you were getting ready to play on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, it just speeds up the process entirely. Tomorrow we're, I haven't looked at the schedule, but I'm sure we're going to be meeting quite a bit and maybe have like a walkthrough or something like that. But yeah, it just speeds up our process. Like tomorrow's, a Wednesday, a normal Wednesday, and then you got Thursday, Friday, and then all of a sudden, you have the Friday and Saturday as one day on Wednesday, and you look and you're playing on Thursday, which is now our Sunday. So everything is just, it's just so condensed, the time. And so, for us, we got to be ready. We got to have our bodies right, our minds right, ready to go by Thursday. And we know we'll have a really good game plan in by the time, Wednesday night comes around.
You've obviously been a starter in this league, but you've been a backup too, and there's a lot of work that goes into that. Is it good in a game like this to let Drew get in, or have Drew get in and get some playing time?
Yeah, it was awesome. Whenever Drew gets an opportunity to go in there, and I know he's going to take full advantage of it. So, like I said, I wasn't a huge fan of my last 2 passes that I threw in the game. It's kind of like I was joking with the guys, but it was kind of like, if there's any hoopers in here, you go out there, you don't want to miss your last shot ever. Whether it's a layup, you want to, get the ball and bucket, the last shot you take. So for me to end it on 2 incompletions, that wasn't my favorite thing in the world, but, I know that he's going to go in there and do a good job when he gets in there.
Sam, stylistically, through 3 games, how close do you feel like you are as an offense to being just the kind of offense that you guys have wanted to be?
Yeah, I think, we're right there. We're kind of knocking on the door of what we want to be as an offense and executing at the level we want to execute at. But we just got to keep taking it one day at a time. And, things are going to fall into place. But we just got to continue to have that workers mentality and, grow from this one, watch the tape because there's a lot of stuff to learn from on this tape and, be ready to go by Thursday.
All right, Sam, thank you.
Appreciate it, guys.